Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Belle Collective, which is a new TV show on OWN. I was confused about what the show was going to be about because every time they showed a preview of it, all they showed were black women, and that was it for like 10-15 seconds, if that. And I was just like, okay, but what is the show about though? What is going on? So we're about to see right now, and I've already seen like the first 5 minutes of it, and I'm already kind of side-eyeing it a little bit, but it's only because of my personal experiences and things that I grew up being taught about where they're from and all this other stuff and my travels. But we are going to get into that, trust and believe. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first lady that we meet is Tambra. Her name is Tambra. And she is a radio personality. On the date that they did this scene, she was supposed to be interviewing the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi, which is where I'm guessing this is actually set, this show. I'm trying to keep my composure because I know how I am and I know how I can get because I've done thoughts posts that I haven't done in a while, but those of y'all who know, y'all know. But I've done thoughts posts that had slight political undertones and just flat out stuff dealing with political stuff, and this is directly one of the things that I've discussed before, which is the fact that in Jackson, Mississippi, in Mississippi as a whole, they actually took down the state flag, which is the Confederate flag. And that literally just came down in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. 2020 just ended yesterday. Slavery been over for how long? I'm not understanding why racists people live for that flag. Stupid people, whether they live in the South or in the North or in, above where I'm living currently, which is in Northern Virginia or whatever it is. What y'all know what it is. Y'all, whatever it is. People like that, they live for that flag, and I'm just like, why though? Like, for me, I'm not understanding why any Southerners live for that flag. Especially the racists, considering that flag represents the failure of a war that the South lost. So it's like, what you living for it for? It don't make no sense. But okay then. Like, I've never understood it. I'm just like, the stuff that y'all want us to learn in school, I learned it. And we lost. So what is y'all living for? Like, I didn't understand. Okay, y'all, I digress. I'm sorry. I'm going to try not to go there the whole time. It's just so stupid. It's always been so stupid to me. But anyway, the woman, Tambra, she, wants to branch out and be a national correspondent or something like that. Y'all, I done forgot. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all because I was just like, what is going on here? Anyway, she wants to do this full time. I think she just has one of those 4-hour part-time slots daily that she does, and she wants to be able to do it all. And even if it's stuff that she doesn't want to necessarily discuss like that, she knows that she's going to have to interview whoever and discuss whatever, and it is what it is. So they ended up discussing this, and I was just like, okay, about this flag. And she basically wanted to know his take on it, and how did he feel when it came down, all this other stuff. And I agree with him. I'm glad that he ain't got to sit up there and watch his children sit below a flag that's flying over them like that. Like that, the Confederate flag, it's just the stupidity for me. I'm not understanding. It's just so stupid. So the next person's name is Leticia. But if you were to see it spelled out, it would seem as though it should be pronounced Leticia. But anyway, she is over some kind of national women's brunch organization. And I was just like, what? But yeah, I'll be back to get into what she talking about. Y'all, I'm sorry. Woo, child. Okay, before I get to the part I just saw that just made me die laughing. Okay, let me calm down. I cannot. Okay, y'all. So she is actually trying to set up a brunch that's gonna be a women's empowerment situation where she's going to, I guess, bring up the topic of a street that was called Fair Street or something like that. That was black owned. It was a whole block dedicated to black people. One of the actual business was called Booker T something, and I mean, it used to be everything back in the day, and now it looks, abandoned, dilapidated, and all that stuff. Y'all can't speak right now. I'm trying to think of that part. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be serious, but the crazy part about to come up. But anyway, so 2 days before the brunch, she at the house, and I was like, oh, she got a nice house. Cool. So she gets on FaceTime with her husband, who is a boat toter or what? I don't know what she said. I ain't never heard nobody say that before. Whatever she said he is, a boat toter or something, a boat toter. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully he'll say it again, and I'll correct myself if I said it wrong. He's basically gone for 28 days and at the house for 14, and they have gone through infidelity before. I don't know if she's cheated, but I think he's cheated. I don't know. Yeah, so they on their little video chat situation, and they're talking, and he keeps talking about how good she looked, and she got all her makeup and stuff on, and all of a sudden she was like, here go Mercy. And he was like, what Grace said, Grace. And I was like, wait a minute, what? She done put the phone on her breast. First of all, to me, my breasts are small. And I'm in the D's. But they big enough. They are big enough. They are big enough. I don't want back problems. But her breasts are smaller than mine. So she was like, here go Mercy. And he was like, where Grace at? Where Grace? And so she was like, hold on. Here go Grace. I was like, what? So that's when she started talking about the infidelity and all this other stuff. I am tired. Like, she said that, like, there are eyes on them and he's gone a lot. And I'm just like, I'm done. I don't know what is going on, but I'm tired already. So the next lady up is Latrice. And according to her, I'm not being funny when I say that. I'm saying this because this is what she said. I have no proof of it, but this is what she said. According to her, her business is the number one hair vendor in the South, in the Southern region or whatever. She has some kind of weave business. She has her stuff in vending machines. I do know of them doing that in recent years. So she said that the demand has been so high that she's even been having to put it in vending machines and all this other stuff. So yeah, she says that she's a self-made millionaire, and she became a millionaire all while being in Jackson, Mississippi. So I mean, if that's true, that's amazing. More power to you. That's good, girl. Okay, so with the vending machine situation, when she first got the idea to do that, they put it in a mall, and the first day that they opened up, the security guard that was there felt the need to record it, and he sent it to corporate, and like there were like hundreds of people in line. Like they actually showed a picture of how long the line was. I was just like, y'all is setting it off for weave like that in a vending machine. Y'all standing in line at a vending machine for weave. Is that deep for real? Oh, okay. But anyway, she said that corporate thought it was so amazing and that it was that great to the point where they wanted vending machines in every location all throughout the United States, that has any affiliation with that particular mall that it was in. And I'm just like, okay, y'all are really doing a lot, but more power to you. Still not hating. I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just shocked that people care enough to just be like, "Ooh, let me set it off and run to the vending machine for weed." What? Woo, child. I thought what she was gonna say actually was that they heard about it and they went and broke into the machines and stole weed, because we've seen people get killed for less. I don't know if any of y'all watch mukbangs, but B Love or Bethany, I about to say B Love's Life, but Bethany's half sister got killed like last month or the month before last, because of a situation like that where she was selling hair and the woman wanted a refund and she was going to give her the refund and she wasn't giving it to her fast enough, and she'd have killed her over a weave. And she had small kids and like a husband, and it's like, or fiance, it's like, y'all doing the most for a weave. But yeah, that's what I thought she was going to say, was that people broke into it and they had to up their, security measures. That's what I thought she was going to say. But anyway, so there is a salon that is attached to one of her actual storefront locations where the weave can be sold, because it's like one side is the retail side and the other side is where you can actually get your hair done and your makeup done. So she had her whole crew in there and they're talking, and she was talking to one of the ladies and she wanted to know what was going on, because she had emails and certain notifications that were given to her and sent to her stating that the vending machine at whatever location was not filled up as it should have been. What's going on with that? She said that she ain't had a chance to make it over to whatever area it's in, because they were like low or out of closures. And so she told her, ain't no excuse for none of this. They shouldn't be out of no weave. They shouldn't be out of no closure. They shouldn't be out of nothing that's supposed to be in those machines. And I mean, if that's what the business entails, I agree. So anyway, she goes over and she's talking to the hairstylist and the makeup artist and all this other stuff. And so they were like, well, what's the move for the night? What y'all got going on? And so this guy was in there and he was saying, well, we weren't going to invite you and you already know why. And so she was like, don't be trying to come for my husband. What's the reason why y'all ain't trying to, do this, that, and the other? And so her husband walked in the door. Apparently her husband is like her shadow. Per her words, when you see her, you see him, and vice versa. He is 20 years older than her. They have been together for 10 years, married for 5. And I don't know what to think about them, because when they were talking, she said that she, was going to go and support her friend Leticia, who was an old girl who has the not banquet, y'all, I'm not trying to be funny, the brunch entrepreneurship type situation going on or whatever. And so she said she wanted to go and support, but she's kind of leery because she's heard only bad things. As far as when people go there, they go with the intent of gossiping and talking bad about everybody that's there. So it's really not women's empowerment. And so she was like, I don't want to be around fake people and all this other stuff. Her husband was like, well, baby, you'll fit right in, won't you? And so she was like, see, don't go there with me. I'm looking like, I was like, is he joking or is he serious? He seemed very serious when he said that. But she said something also in the vein of, oh, well, I'm shocked that you ain't got no problem with me going. It seemed like he run where she go because he don't want her to go certain places. And it's like, she's younger than him. And he basically don't be wanting her to go nowhere. He be running her. If it ain't work, he don't want her to go, it seemed like. And he was just like, look, I ain't got a problem with you going nowhere as long as it ain't in a club and then and you going to a club and it's after 2 and all this other stuff. And so she was like, well, don't pop up at the luncheon. That's all I want you to not do. That's what I want you to do, is to not pop up at this women's empowerment situation. I don't know. This is a lot. I know I'm saying it's a whole lot in these videos, but these people are doing a lot, like for real. I don't know. So the next woman that we have been introduced to, her name is Marie, and I am pretty much here for her. She's a multi-millionaire because she and her best friend opened up mental health facilities for children and their families. That is very much so needed. And I was just like, excuse me. And I mean, it really is needed. Like, a lot of people do not understand. Like, facilities like that are very much so needed. I am here for it. Woo, child. So, they are talking about her writing up policies and all this other stuff. Like, a lot of stuff goes into that. Like, if you really are going to have your hands in the pot and be that hand, you really have to really be all the way in it if you're going to do any of this. Writing policies and all that stuff, man, it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into that. I have done that on the bachelor's level of, having a college degree or whatever. I've had to do that before, and it was just them, kind of allowing us to dip our toe into it to kind of give us just a little taste of how it is to write policies and all that stuff, what goes into writing policies. But she is really, y'all, I can't, I'm here for it. And I mean, she wants to pursue her PhD so that she can become doctor. I know that's right. I don't blame her. I kind of feel, at least for right now, I feel like she ain't doing the Wendy thing where she gonna be like, I have 4 degrees. I have 4 degrees every time you see her. You gonna acknowledge these 4 degrees. You gonna acknowledge these 4 degrees. And I'm here for it. The only thing that I'm kind of like looking like that in reference to is her family life. She's married, and she said that she and her husband have been married like maybe 3 years or something like that. But she has a 21-year-old, she has teenagers, she has a 7-year-old, and she has like 3 grandbabies. And it seems like all of them live in the house. It seems like all of them live in her house. And I'm just like, okay, it seems as though her and her husband have had to overcome a lot of stuff. And I'm like, everybody's marriage is going all the way through. Lord. But we gonna see where it go. But as far as the business side of it, girl, I am here for it. That is very, very necessary. Yes, Lord. Woo, I'm here for that. I'm not sure if this is the last woman, but the next woman, just in case there is one more or two, her name is Antoinette, and she is into dentistry. She is the Dr. Heavenly of this show, I guess you could say. She is trying to open up her own practice, meaning building from the ground up. There has been somewhat of a snag in the plans. The landlord has all kinds of crap in there, and it's going to cost like $500,000 for her to get it, all the way off the ground. She was married. Almost nobody knows that she has gotten divorced. She is not from there. I think she was from Michigan, but she moved there, and she's all about the dentistry life, and she wants other Black people to be into it, and she doesn't think very many Black people are into it. But she was in an interracial marriage, and she has no problem with dating outside of her race. And I guess racial tensions were high, and they had been married for 7 years. They are no longer together. She's very close to her father, even though he does not live there. And she put him on FaceTime and was kind of showing him the goings on of the building and all of that. But she still hasn't told anybody in that town, anybody that she runs in these circles with, that she is now divorced. So I guess that conversation is going to eventually happen. When, I don't know. But as of right now, she's keeping it under wraps. So everybody who is going to be in attendance for that women's empowerment brunch, who is basically everybody except Tambra. Tambra said that she had prior engagement, and Leticia wanted to actually have her to host it, but she's already preoccupied doing something else. So looks like she's gonna be stuck doing that herself. Y'all, people getting ready for it. And Antoinette and Latrice seem to be really close friends, and they are going to go to the brunch together. Earlier in the episode, they showed Antoinette going and trying to find a divorce Porsche, if you will. And I don't know if she actually purchased it or not, but I don't know. But she already has that business that she wants to open up, and apparently she's making a decent amount of money for her to still sit up there and want to go. And she literally went to the Porsche dealership and was looking at that stuff. But yeah, so anyway, the day of the brunch is upon us. They are there, and Marie arrived, and she had already prepped the hair that she was gonna wear, because her hair is actually cut short, and she keeps it short. Like, do y'all remember, was her name Duffy, that was on the Real Housewives, or no, the Basketball Wives or whatever? Her hair is kind of like how Duffy's hair was on that show. That's how she keeps her hair all the time. Well, she figured that she was going to support Black businesses, and the Black business that she supported was Latrice, who is the woman who has the hair weaves. And she said she's heard nothing but great things, but she went and she had one of the people to create a unit out of the weave that she bought from her. And she said when she got it, she don't know what's going on, but she does not feel as though it is the same hair that she purchased. And she was curling it the day of the brunch, and she said, well, I heard she's gonna be there, so I'm gonna approach her about it when I get there. So they were talking, and she just so happened to ask another woman if the hair that she had on her head was her hair. She was like, yeah, I could tell. So she felt like that was her opening. So Marie asked her, what's going on, and is this your hair? And so she was like, clearly you went to the wrong store. They got into a whole situation, and she left. And since Antoinette was with her, Latrice left, and they both left together. They were dressed completely different from everybody else. Everybody else was dressed like Southern Belles, and Marie, she was very extra with how she was dressed. That hat was something. It was something. That's all I can say. I think Latrice said that she looked like Lil Bo Peep with the way she was dressed. Lord, it went really south. And then Leticia was mad because she didn't get to announce to the women that were there about her initiative to get everything going as far as that street for Black businesses again. So yeah, there was no women empowerment going on that day, and it was a mess. Anyway, we're gonna see how this turns out, because how I grew up, when we have discussed Jackson, Mississippi in particular, and Mississippi as a whole, that was a place you did not want to travel through at all. It definitely had a whole lot of sundown towns. Of course, where I'm from, which is Alabama, we have a whole lot of sundown towns. Lord Jesus, Georgia as well. I mean, a lot of places do, but I'm just saying, like, we made a point to get all the way through Mississippi whenever we would travel, and we had to go through Mississippi to get from point A to point B. I think we had to go through there when we would go to Indiana, I guess. But anyway, excuse me, y'all. It's this rain. I'm about to go to sleep, y'all. This rain is putting me through. But anyway, yeah. So a lot is going on this show. Look like everybody's marriage is going all the way through. The people who are single, they want kids and they want a relationship, and it don't never thrive for whatever reason. Like, it's just a lot going on, y'all. I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot. Even more than what we've seen just from this first episode. Anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed this recap review. I am about to go to bed because I am exhausted. I have been up for a really, 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 really long time, and I got to go to work early in the morning, and it's raining, and I might have to get up and scrape ice off my car. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Bye bye.